Hey everybody, Chris here, and this episode is brought to you by Notion. Notion brings all your notes, docs, and projects into one connected space that just works. And now they have Notion Agent. So to try it out, go to notion.com/make it to try your new AI teammate today. That's notion.com/make it to try out Notion Agent. And now, on to the show. Okay, you guys ready? You guys want to do it?
Yeah, man. Go ahead. Pimp me.
All right, here we go.
Pimp my ride.
Yeah, right. Shout out to Exhibit. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Make It Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Barkley.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Buggs. And again, Chris, you did it.
I did it again.
That hello, that first one,
yes.
It just pepped me up, man. I was all perked up. Like, you just hit that hello. There's something about the note that you hit. It just, I don't know, man. It just hits my soul in the right way. So
Are you sure it's your soul?
I appreciate you for that. Yeah, it's my soul. I'm not going to go. Your mind,
did it,
body,
did it
soul.
perk up your?
I'm going to stop right there. I'm not even going there. It was wonderful. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. At first, I thought you were going to say that I blew up your eardrum with it. I thought it like blew your.
No, you know? I'm smart enough to know that when you're doing the hello, I don't put two AirPods in, just one.
You know, I got to bring it because I know the audience wants that energy at the beginning of a podcast. There's nothing worse than a podcast sort of starting, especially about film, something fun. We're here being creative. You don't want to start in this somber place, even if somber stuff is happening in the industry, which we might get into today a little bit with our special guest, Michael Mendelsohn. Michael, say hello.
Hi. Good to meet the Make It audience.
Well, I'm glad. I'm sure the Make It audience is glad to meet you, I should say. And with us on this podcasting journey, as always, is producer Papa Bear. Producer Papa Bear, say hello.
Hello, everybody.
There you go. And
hey, Papa Bear, I like your hair.
You do?
Oh,
you can have it.
Yeah, I like it.
He's never offered it to me. He's never, not once.
Nick, we were at a cafe yesterday.
What's under that hat?
And we're at this cafe together, and I'm wearing my sunglasses, and he's got his sunglasses on that look like John Lennon's sunglasses, and we are hanging out having Cobb salads together. And people do not put it together that we are related, right? They just they don't do it. And people watch us all the time. They're like, who is that? Okay, that's the manager, and he's the lead drummer. Like they're trying to figure out how in the hell are we sitting at the same table together so naturally.
You're security, bro. That's what it is.
I'm security for who is Papa Bear?
It sounds like Soho House, Nashville.
Oh, so I do go to Soho House a lot. Shout out to Soho House.
Favorite place.
It's one of my, it's a great place to have a business meeting, right? If you want to close the deal. Yeah. But this was at a place called Urban Market in Franklin, Michael, where you have a home.
HERBAN.
Correct. And it has some of the best people watching in the city. So if you come to Nashville, very sort of underrated place, you go there, you're going to spend $60 on 2 salads and a coffee. That's unfortunate, but you will see country music stars, actors, directors, entrepreneurs, all the things. So kind of worth it. You know, you pick your poison. Anyhow, guys, are we ready for a little story is king with the one and only Michael Mendelsohn?
Oh yeah, man. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this.
All right. So I just want to give this audience before I ask you what you're working on now, what we should know you for, I want to give just a little bit of hint to the audience. So Michael has been the producer, executive producer, financier behind movies like Lord of War, Air Force One, The Hurricane, The Matrix, What Women Want, one of me and Nick's favorite movies of all time, True Romance, and of course, Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs. This is going to be an incredible conversation. So, Michael, with that being said, what else should we know you for, and what are you working on now?
Well, my biggest prize right now is training a whole new batch of youngsters in filmmaking. You know,
Yes.
they come in all shapes and sizes, and I'm focused on the future, and I'm trying to teach them the combination of creative script development, attaching a director, attaching cast, and then how to sell the movie, how to finance the movie, and how to distribute the movie so you make your money back. And so that's a lot for a person to learn, and it takes a couple of years. And so that's my number one prize, is the future. And we recently did James McAvoy, the great actor behind Last King of Scotland, and First
Love
Class, and The Marvel. He directed this movie, California Scheming, and he's got two young stars that play Scottish rappers who are trying to make it in London, and nobody can understand their Scottish accent, so they fake being from LA in London, and I guess nobody in London understands which California accent it is. And so they become stars until one of their serious girlfriends says she's hitting the road if they don't start getting real.
Yeah.
And so
every
and that
creative
was at
can
the
relate to
Toronto
that.
Film Festival recently. Yeah. And so James did great. He's in the movie too.
Okay.
And the other movie that we just finished, which is coming up, is Dreamquill, directed by Alex Prager. And Dreamquill we did with Paramount. And, Paramount's been purchased. And it's a sci-fi robot movie when your wife needs to go on vacation. She orders up a robot that looks like her to take care of her husband and kid. And what happens if the robot falls in love with the husband and the kid, and they want the robot more than they want the real thing?
Dystopian.
And I think that's just around the corner.
Yes, me too, Michael.
Yeah,
and, I was asking this question the other day in a group chat, Michael. I cannot believe this is the theme of this movie. I was asking the question, what happens if you're having an affair with let's say your robot maid, and you're a straight man. Let's say you're a straight man, or you could switch it to a straight woman. You're having an affair with your robot handler, maid, it's a male robot, and you find out that it's being remotely controlled by a man, right? So are you in love with the man that's controlling the robot remotely?
Little Cyrano de Bergerac situation going on.
Yeah. That's right around the corner, right? Like you thought you were in this relationship one-on-one with this robot who, and the key to this too, and this probably is played out in Dreamquill, is that the robot has less agency than you, even though it might be more capable than you. Like it might be an AI, right? That's really smart, but it may not have more agency than you. And that's what makes the affair somewhat possible in a way. And then you find out, someone with more agency than you is controlling the robot from afar. Fascinating. Anyway, all that stuff is relevant and around the corner, Michael. So thank you.
All I got to say from Princess Bride, death cannot defy love.
Yes.
And love is love.
Yes.
And,
wait. Are you saying?
And I can't
love?
I can't tell you how to get it.
Love. Yeah.
I can't tell you how to get it, but I know who is getting it.
Yeah. Michael, you don't understand. The Princess Bride is well documented as my favorite movie of all time. I have William Goldman book right in front of me, Michael. I have a vial of iocane powder to my left off camera that you can't see. I also have a signed screenplay of Princess Bride hidden away. I'm not going to tell these viewers where. Hidden away in this studio. So yes, you named the right movie right there. Thank you.
He did, man. He did. It's perfect.
That's incredible. What do you think about the acquisition? Well, I have it. You brought it up. What do you think about Paramount and some of these acquisitions that are happening in industry right now? Are they good or bad for us?
I think the Paramount acquisition is good. I think the attempt to go after Warner Brother may remove one vendor, player, buyer. So that concerns all of us that make movies. We want the most amount of people buying, not the least. But I do understand Ellison's quest for billion-dollar franchises. So while he has Top Gun and Mission Impossible over there, he wouldn't mind Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman as additional billion-dollar franchises. So, that's the thing about movies today. We have been making all the movies that the studios didn't want to make and then became a hit. Warner didn't necessarily want to make Matrix, and Sony didn't really want to take the risk on Air Force One, and What Women Want, they didn't want to take the risk on Mel not carrying a gun, but, carrying a hairdryer. So these are things that when they don't want to take the full risk, they say, get Mike on the phone. He'll do it. He eats it. He'll eat anything. and to be honest, to
Mikey with the Life cereal,
the success of that, but the success of those movies is a lot of times based on the passion and the uniqueness of those filmmakers and their product and their films, which we call cinema. We don't call them franchises. We don't call them mega hits. We don't call them 3, 4, 5. We call it cinema. And those of us that stood outside, like in Reservoir Dogs, I was standing out there with Lawrence Bender and Quentin Tarantino, and we could tell you in the cold that we're waiting in front of the theater, the Egyptian theater, we could tell you where they got to the part where the ear gets cut off because 7 or 8 people would come out of the theater and they couldn't take it, right?
Couldn't take it. Yeah.
That's cinema, not franchise. And then when we go on to Pulp Fiction, and Miramax put up half and we put it on Pulp Fiction, they said, well, the script's too long. He starts in the middle of the movie. Well, he is a true auteur. Quentin Tarantino is awesome. Yeah. And, I've enjoyed his movies since we did Reservoir Dogs in the 90s.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
He's an all-timer.
Him and his producer had called me up when they came into the bank and said, what should we wear to the bank? And now I call them up and ask them what I should wear.
Full circle.
Full circle indeed, Nick.
Full circle.
That's right. Now, just to, not to freak you out, Michael, but, we spend a lot of time researching each person that joins us on this podcast. And it's kind of been our calling card for many, many years. We were doing this before Sean Evans at Hot Ones was doing this. So, I think he took our model, Nick. Anyway, it is what it is.
Up for debate.
That being said, so we know a lot about how you got into the business, but and so we don't want to belabor all that stuff. But I am curious, was there a moment that you knew you would spend the rest of your life in film and television? And do you remember that moment?
Yeah, I was asked by Johnny Carson, who was a late night show host before Jay Leno, before Jimmy Kimmel, and you guys weren't born at the time.
But I watched
He was
Johnny.
the,
I watched
he's
Johnny.
the goat.
Boy.
I watched Johnny.
He's the goat.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love Johnny Carson.
I was the mail boy at the Bushkin, Copelson, Games and Gaines law firm where Johnny was represented. And they needed somebody. His car broke down. They needed somebody to give him a ride. So I got into my Chevy Chevelle Super Sport with a 440 engine, 4-barrel Holley carburetor, and picked him up and took him to the studio. And he asked me, did I mind if he went through some of the jokes with me? And so I said, I don't mind, but just letting you know, I'm not a funny guy, Mr. Carson, like you. And so he goes through about 40 jokes, and I said, well, these are the only 3 I really respond to, Mr. Carson. Oh. Well, most people fake laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing fake here. So.
There's a lot of pressure to fake laugh.
And then he requested me, but he said, let's try those 3, and I'm going to try 3 that I like, and let's see how it does. And that was the start of a relationship. And then he asked me, could I make a Christmas movie can I make a movie for the Christmas party, the Carson Christmas party? Mm-hmm. I was 17. He had heard I had an idea. And I end up cutting something together with his editor, and that turns out to be a selection of all the mistakes Johnny made. He stumbled, the monkey scratched him, a wardrobe misfunction, and so that was the start of bloops and blunders. And I thought I was going to get fired for stringing together all his mistakes. But I ended up getting a raise from $4 an hour to $5 an hour.
There you go.
Well done. Well done.
Right.
Yep, he's on a roll now.
That's it, man. I love it.
Well, and remember, guys, it's not just about bloopers and blunders, because that's what you think about. Especially when you're a kid, It's like, these are mistakes. No, what mistakes do is they humanize people.
Yes.
And that's what people love. It's like, oh my gosh, this guy that's bigger than life is just like me. And I love it.
Yeah.
And I love it. So that was well played, good sir.
My favorite thing Carson did, Nick, is it would be in his guest chair, and they would say something really, really funny. The crowd would respond, roaring laughter, and Carson would smoke. He'd smoke. So he'd have a cigarette there, and he would just, in this coy, wry, perfectly sort of toned smile, just turn to the audience and say, this is, it wasn't that funny. It's what he's saying with his face, not saying it with words. Wasn't that funny, A, and B, this is what you get when you watch my show. Best of entertainment. Top entertainment. It's very classy the way he did it, Even his laughter wasn't this boisterous laugh. Yes, go ahead, Michael.
The interesting thing we also learned is there was a study done on his show, and they found that people who watched his show before they went to bed had a psychological improvement in their life.
Really? That's amazing.
It was true for me.
And I think Naked Podcast, I think that is going to also have that effect on its viewers.
Well, we haven't done the study yet, but we think we think that's probably true as well, right? Because one thing we don't do, Nick and Papa Bear, is we don't ever sort of lead with the outrageous and the things that bleed and things that make you sad and worried and scared. We try to bring a little light, and I don't mean lightness, but I mean light, a little lux to your life, if you will, every time we do a show, right? We want to talk about, like you said at the beginning, Michael, we want to talk about the future. We want to talk about what's possible. We don't want to talk about what you can't do too much, right? And we want to be real, but we also keep it light.
Listen, Chris, and like Michael said, he did say it, that when we whisper, or even we whisper in the dark corners of the filmmaking world, or we shout when we're out at a party or a club and we say that we are the hosts of the Make It podcast, people do get excited because they think we're saying
the naked
podcast. So yeah, we do try our best to, create excitement in any way we can.
This reminds me of our college friend Nimit. And when he would go to the club, he'd walk up to a girl and say, "Hi, my name's Nimit," or he'd be yelling it, and they'd be like, "Emmett?" Yeah, he would never get his name. No one would ever get his name right in the club. It was impossible. And they don't get the name of this right in a club either. It's going to be naked every single time. But it is actually the Make It podcast. Michael, now, from your experience with Carson going forward, that inspired you to get involved in the industry. What would you say was your biggest challenge? Or maybe your most challenging experience so far in the film industry, and how'd you overcome it?
One of the biggest challenges is, at the time in the 80s, it was a very nepotistic business. So it was guys and their fathers and their brothers and their children and their grandchildren,
Yep.
And so, my father was a cabinet maker. He was a concentration camp survivor, right?
Yep.
And my mom was in import-export. Her family had to escape Georgia, Russia, because they were killing the Old Testament people. And she ran to Istanbul, Turkey, where she was born. And so, that was not a film family,
right,
per se. And so breaking in is sometimes very hard for people that may come from areas of the country that aren't known necessarily for film. Like Nashville is a better place to break in for music, country music or R&B, but it's more difficult to break in from Nashville from in LA. And so now you have brilliant podcast hosts and producers like yourselves to tell people about it. But we didn't have podcasts back then. We didn't have internet back then. We didn't have any way to communicate the way we are now. And so it was very difficult for people to break into the business. And you had to be willing to sleep on somebody's couch or in the car or in the back of a nightclub until you made it.
Yeah.
And so to make it, and you can see in the Bible, it says, "You shall acquire great wisdom." But, most people don't read to the end of the paragraph where it says, "and you shall suffer."
Right. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yep.
So everybody's a writer, a director, a producer, an actress. So everybody's trying to make it. And so they usually fake it till they make it, right?
Yep.
But, you can't fake it. You got to do it.
Yep.
You got to put the time in, like you guys have put in on your podcast. How many years has this podcast been going on?
So we just passed year 7.
You got
for
it.
this show, and we've been making indie films now for 11 years.
Number 7.
Yeah.
So that you got the 7-year itch. That's why you called me.
That's right. That's right. And 7-11.
I get it.
So we're open all the time.
I get it.
That's now So far, you have given us so many fascinating, interesting nuggets by yourself. I have to ask this question. Sometimes I don't ask it, guys. I'm going to ask it this time. Can you describe your household growing up in 3 words? Very curious what those 3 words would be.
Son of immigrants is one word.
I'm going to write that all together really tight. Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
A poor kid that didn't want to be poor anymore.
Mm-hmm. So it's poor. Mm-hmm.
And I would say there's no amount of hard work I wouldn't do to accomplish the goals.
Hard work was a value.
Hard work.
Yep. Hard work.
Yeah, and Chris, I got to jump in on this one real quick.
Please.
I think it's really cool that Michael said the first thing, son of immigrants, because I'm always fascinated by names, and you guys have heard me say that I live my namesake being Nicholas.
I live mine as well, being
Nicholas,
Christopher. It means Christ.
There you go. And Nicholas being victory of the people. And one of the things that you should know about the name Mendelsohn is that it's actually of a Jewish origin that means son of Mendel.
Son of Mendel, yes.
And Mendel is the diminutive of the Hebrew name Menachem. And Menachem means comforter or one who consoles. So it's really interesting that, Michael, you started out with son of immigrants. You are the son of the comforter.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is very interesting as well. So yeah, it's beautiful when we kind of get back to our namesake. Like, who are we?
Yes.
Right. What defines us at our core?
Yeah. Well,
so that's great.
Well done, Nick. Very good. Thought it was very, very nice. Let's end this segment.
Can we talk Bible?
We can talk Bible if you want to talk Bible.
Hit me with it, man. Hit me with your best shot, as they say,
Michael.
right?
You say whatever you want to say on here.
I think, this is what I think,
Okay.
that there's volume 1 and volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
And as times were during volume 1, that book was written for times like that.
Mm-hmm.
And as the world progressed and digressed and progressed again, we needed an updated philosophy of life. And so we got volume 2.
Yes.
And I think there's too much time being spent, too much time of which one are you, volume 1 and volume 2. And I think you need both. And so there's no separation between those volumes if you really know where Jesus came from and what he said on the Temple Mount, which I think is one of the greatest speeches of all time, and philosophies about life.
Well, Michael, I would offer that it may be time for a volume 3.
Yep.
And what that looks like, I think, has yet to be determined, has yet to be written. But I love that approach. I love that the way you think about that. I think that's spot on. But I'm curious as to what volume 3 will look like to get us through the times that we're in and the times that are to come. And since volume 3 hasn't been written, then we have to look to volumes 1 and 2 to make a determination as to how we as individuals write the story of the future.
Yep.
So I definitely appreciate that perspective.
I do have a inkling of what volume 3 could be.
Okay. Very interested.
If you analyze the judo, and we have a movie on this, by the way, but if you analyze the Judeo-Christian faith, volume 1 and volume 2, that's 5,000 years of history.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start looking at the pyramids or the Sphinx or temples in India or pyramids in South America, you start realizing that those are 15 to 25,000 years old. And so the question is, was that created from scratch, or was it aliens and alien life forms that entered the atmosphere of Earth and created things that led to the life we know as it is now?
You know, it's quite
Because
possible.
I don't think it started 5,000 years ago.
Yeah. I think we've got that just through carbon testing. We know that. There's a documentary that is either out or coming out called Age of Disclosure that I'm very interested in seeing, that talks about this very thing. And I spend a lot of time in Mexico, and I have seen a lot of things that are older than the Bible. And I've just seen it with my own eyes. And they have new LiDAR technology. And Nick, you probably know about this. I know Papa Bear does. That can see into the ground. And so these things are much deeper than they originally thought. They see the thing that's protruding out of the ground, and they say, oh, they had a little temple here, or they had a little pyramid here. And it turns out the thing is gigantic. It keeps going down. It was like we're looking at the top of buildings, basically, and not understanding that there were whole cities underneath, and now the LiDAR technology can show that. But it's very, very interesting, and it's a nice aside. We'll end the segment on this, Michael. What is a piece of advice you live by?
I think that every person is valuable in one way or another. And I think in this age of watching the president and the king of Saudi Arabia and all the billionaire titans, we sometimes forget that you don't have to be a billionaire to contribute to society and make it worthwhile. And you don't always have to take, you can give. And sometimes the giving part creates so much positive energy that it benefits the person as an overall human being, which sets you up for success, however you define it. And I think that I had a pastor that said, look to the left of you and look to the right of you. Yeah. If you think you're a better person than the left or the right, because you maybe know the Bible more, or you made more money, or you made that, then you need to repent, because it doesn't, in the other dimensions of life, it doesn't work that way. And we're living in this dimension, but we don't know what's in the other side of this.
Yeah, it's true. And anybody that's been a billionaire that isn't a Nepo baby, and even if they were a Nepo baby, their wealth started with someone giving to them. One must be given something to then operate with it and then make something for themselves. And so it's almost an obligation to continue the giving and continue the cycle of giving. Even if you've got everything in the world financially, right? Like, I can't think of one person today that has, super wealth that wasn't given a chance, wasn't given a loan, wasn't given an inheritance, right? Like, it starts by giving. Giving's the first step, not the last step. Folks, that is story is king. Very good, Michael.
And that's why, that's why Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays.
Ditto.
There you go.
Ditto.
Amen.
Amen to that. And I'm looking forward to this Thanksgiving more than usual, by the way. Nick, can you roll out your audience poll?
Yeah, let's do some audience polls, man. I think this is one of our favorite segments, just because we're able to reach out to the world and find out what people are thinking. This one is slightly different in that I wanted to find really a poll that would reach the level of one Michael Mendelsohn. Yep. I wanted to make sure that we had the gravitas of this poll that was necessary. So I actually pulled a poll that was done.
You pulled a poll?
In 2021, but in 2021 by Dear Producers. And this was part of the Producers Sustainability Survey Report. And they
you're talking about the newsletter, Dear Producer?
Yep.
Shout out to Dear Producer. Great newsletter. Go subscribe on Substack.
Yeah, it was their first Producers Sustainability Survey Report they did in 2021. They actually interviewed or surveyed 550 producers that were narrative and documentary producers. Yep. And they had to each have a credit on at least one feature-length film distributed within the past 10 years. The work that they did during that time for the Producer Sustainability Report is amazing. It's lengthy. There's a lot of different questions. I think there were 75 different questions that were asked, and I loved every bit of it. But this one question was really interesting to me, which is how many films paid out back-end compensation in the past 10 years. So how many films paid out back-end compensation in the past 10 years, surveying 550 producers? And I'm going to give you these four options. So you have option of 0, right? None paid out back-end. You have 1 paid out back-end, 2 paid out back-end, or greater than 2.
Okay? Those options are ominous, by the way.
They are, aren't they? So I'll give you the responses. So we have 55% of films paid out nothing, paid out 0 compensation, right? All right. 1 film, 24%.
Okay.
2 films, 11%. Greater than 2, 10%.
Got it. So a little bit greater than Pareto's law, right? Because I thought that this would break down as a perfect 80-20. This was my
we've got 0, right? 0 films, right? 55% of those surveyed said that 0 films paid out back-end compensation in the past 10 years.
55% of producers picked and made movies that didn't make enough money to pay back in, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or just did not pay back end. So I thought that was really interesting. And I wanted Michael to kind of comment on that, because if I could, I'd like to offer some other color to this survey. And the other color is that there were other elements to the survey, right? They asked about a lot of other things. And one of the things they also asked about was, what factors would contribute to a producer leaving producing as a career? Okay. 82% picked lack of money and finances. Okay. 82% said they would leave because of lack of money and finances. Now, here's the other survey that kind of goes with that. It says, what keeps producers going? 87% said a love of the work. And only 11% said the paycheck.
Yeah.
Okay. So that translates to the money isn't there. They're not looking for the money for the paycheck. They're looking for the money to enable them to continue doing what they love.
Yeah.
Right. It's amazing. And yet 55% said that 0 of their films paid out back-end compensation. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that survey out there to Michael, just for your thoughts.
What do you think, Michael,
on what this is saying?
I think it's a fascinating bookends of statistics that you brought up. Number one, it's very rare that streamers themselves pay any back end.
They almost never do. Yeah, you're right.
They don't have they don't have any box office bonuses. They'll say I'll pay a little bit more up front, but there's no back end. So, if the Lost Bus with Matthew McConaughey, has millions of people watching it, it's very hard to somehow bonus the team that made The Lost Bus.
Yep. I watched that movie, by the way. It's better than you think.
And so, yeah. And so you're also seeing a lot of television. Taylor Sheridan shows are awesome.
Yeah.
Mayor of Kingstown, to name one that just recently came out, Landman.
Yep.
And so those don't pay back ends. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So really, the back usually the back ends that we have paid are if we made a movie for $1 million and somehow we sold it for $3.5 million.
Right.
Or if we made a Lord of War and now they want to make a sequel, for instance, with the producer that we worked with, Philippe Rousselet. So those kind of things where you make sequels to things. Now, they don't always have the original people, like I was on the first one, but because of its success, I was not on the second and the third one. But I also think the first one was the best one.
Indeed.
It definitely was.
And some people are considered difficult when they're focused on the story and the integrity of the story. And then once you get into special effects, I call it special effects porn. You can only watch special effects for, 10 minutes, 15 minutes before it starts getting blurry.
Yeah.
And sometimes the best special effects enhance the story and the characters, but sometimes it's used as a crutch to woo the audiences with woo and wow and incredible. But I find that the characters and the story are what make things interesting. As you have behind you, Nick, a bunch of characters that are all in their own way super classic and have a personality of their own, you see?
Yep.
And so creating those characters and bringing them to life is something that we as filmmakers have to work on sometimes for 5 years, 10 years. So even if you were to get a paycheck of $1 million and you worked on a project for 10 years, it's the equivalent of $100,000 a year.
That's right.
So you can't say that I worked on it just for money.
Yep.
Because I hear, metal welders are making $300,000-$400,000 now because they need to build more submarines.
Yep. I've heard all that advice lately. Like, go be a plumber, go be an electrician. They make money hand over fist because there's less people doing it, and everybody needs them.
And they're the trades. You notice the modern houses that are being built. They're basically 3 or 4 boxes put together with some windows.
Yeah.
What happened to the old architecture and those southern plantation fronts or the country music hall or, these are all things that were done back in the day. And so, when we take on a house, for instance, it's usually from 1923 or 1927 or 1916. Because that's interesting to us 4 boxes piled on each other, they say, well, that makes a lot of money, but I don't care. I can't.
Yeah, here in Nashville, they have these tall and skinny houses now that most people kind of loathe, but they also are what you need to build. They're what you need to build if you want ROI now, and because the way people live, it's less family homes. It's a lot more short-term rental stuff. It's an interesting conundrum. It's like the business we're in, Nick. Like, we might not want to make AI slop, but at the same time, what role should AI play in anything that we do? What role should special effects play in a film? It's funny you bring that up, Michael, about special effects, because that was my feeling on why the Marvel movies started to fall off, is they leaned into them too heavily. It became not really a movie. Just like, it was kind of like a cartoon with like Chris Evans's face on it or whatever. Like, it was weird. And I thought, it becomes uninteresting if characters can't die, for example. Like, they can be thrown through concrete walls and get up. It doesn't make, there's no stakes.
There again, you had in the early years, one of the producers and founders, a guy named Avi Arad, who made the best Marvel movies that were super interesting.
Yeah, like Iron Man.
And then once it was sold to Disney, once it was sold to Disney and it became more of a factory, some of the quality suffered.
Yeah, it's passion and purpose over profit. And it's not that they leaned in to AI. It's not that they leaned into CGI. It's not that they leaned into all that stuff. It's back to what Michael said. That stuff was the crutch. What they did was they didn't have a good story. They didn't spend the amount of time that they needed to build character. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to move the next thing through the factory. So in order to move that next thing through the factory, you supplement it with all of that, what we would call garbage.
Yeah. Or what Michael calls, wow, and incredible.
Exactly. And it's incredibly weak for those of us who love character and story. And I think that's it. That's what happened to them. And that for us, Chris, that's the answer for us too. Mm. Like, how will we use AI? It's the same way that Michael just mentioned. We're going to use it as a supplement or complement. I'll put it that way. We won't use it as a supplement. We'll use it as a complement to character. Like, you and I have character. Like, when we talk about our brand, right? Our brand is, kind of 2 things. It's like with the image that we put out there and the ethos that's behind it. So we'll never compromise our image nor our ethos for any of that stuff. But we'll use it to complement those things and enable our ethos and our image to get out there into the world so that we can do the good that we're trying to do.
Yeah. Love it. Very well put. That was a good audience poll.
Do good is that's your audience poll, is who wants to do good.
Nick, Papa Bear, we should put that on the YouTube page. We should just ask the question, who wants to do good? And
no, I'm going to ask the 2 questions, Chris.
Would be option
do
1,
good or make money.
One would be the second.
No, do good or make money.
Do good or make money.
I'm gonna make people figure that. Put that.
Where is intern David right now? We need him to post that right now while we're on this conversation.
Well, can you do both?
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing both. I'm gonna do one or the other, because you can make
both.
money by doing good, but you gotta push with your passion first. Your ethos, your image, those are the things that cannot be compromised. If you shift to the other, then the good falls to the wayside, right? It's like, again, false idols.
Yep, there you go. And Nick, thank you for the audience polls. Guys, let's take a quick break. Let's pay some bills so we can stay on the air, whatever that means. And we'll be right back in a minute.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. And this episode is brought to you by Notion. Notion brings all your notes, docs, and projects into one connected space that just works. It's seamless, flexible, powerful, and actually fun to use. With AI built right in, you spend less time switching between tools and more time creating great work. And now with Notion Agent, your AI doesn't just help with work, it finishes it.
Yep, Chris. And for our filmmaking audience, everyone knows filmmaking is organized chaos. Scripts, schedules, budgets, rewrites, team notes. Somehow it all has to stay in sync. And that's where Notion AI becomes your secret weapon. With Notion AI, you can break down scripts, auto-generate shot lists, summarize production meetings, and even turn creative notes into actionable tasks instantly. Your entire workflow from concept to final cut lives in one intelligent workspace. So with Notion, you can spend less time searching for content and more time creating it.
100%. So what do you do now? Really easy. If you want to try Notion Agent out, just go to notion.com/make it. Now that's all lowercase letters, notion.com/make it to try your new AI teammate, Notion Agent, today. And when you use our link, you're supporting our show. So please use our link. That's notion.com/make it. This episode is also brought to you by Gusto. Let's be real. No one starts a business for the love of calculating tax withholdings. That's where Gusto comes in to take the stress out of payroll, benefits, and HR so you can focus on why you started your business in the first place. I know for us, Nick, that was all about us being able to run a podcast, be creative, make films, create with our lives. But guess what? There's a business around all that stuff, and Gusto is here to help. Gusto is online payroll and benefits software built for small businesses. It's all in one, remote friendly, incredibly easy to use, so you can pay, hire, onboard, and support your team anywhere. It's quick and simple to switch to Gusto. Just transfer your existing data to get up and running fast. Plus, don't pay a cent. You won't pay a penny until you run your first payroll. Save time with automated tools built right in. Offer letters, onboarding materials, direct deposit, and more. All the stuff, we don't want to do. So try Gusto today at gusto.com/make it and get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. That's 3 months free of payroll at gusto.com/make it. One more time, gusto.com/make it. And we're back.
Wow. That was a long end.
Well, that was a long commercial break.
Hey, look, that was a long end, but I can say that it didn't go as deep as audience polls.
Ooh, audience polls does penetrate. And so now that you've penetrated everyone's, lead us into some filmmaker Q&A, sir.
Yeah, man, it is time for some filmmaker Q&A, and this is where we get into the nitty gritty. This is where we get into the different sides of one Michael Mendelsohn's brain that he tends to use, and I love that because, as he says, you cannot be just creative, you cannot be just business. You got to get both of those things going, and that's what filmmaker Q&A is designed to do. So the first question that I have for you, young Michael Mendelsohn, is you're one of the few financiers who has consistently backed, as we mentioned earlier, auteur-driven films. We got The Matrix, we got True Romance, we got Reservoir Dogs. So my question is, what's your personal philosophy on risk when it comes to investing in creative, unconventional cinema?
Well, I think there's risk in anything you do in life, right? You walk down the street, you have risk. You go into a supermarket, could be risky. You cross a busy intersection, it's risky. So what we do at our finance company is we manage risk and we minimize risk the best we can. Picking talented filmmakers that have a passion and a clear voice of what they want to do is number one. You cannot be wishy-washy on what is the tone of your movie. because I recently had a meeting and he says, well, there's a comedy and then it turns into a drama and then it starts getting scary. Well, I mean, first of all, forgetting about what I think, the buyers want to know what they're buying. And I wish I could tell you that they're all cinema majors and, can debate French noir cinema and 70s Scorsese violence, but they're not. They just don't. And so having a clear genre message, I think, is the second key point. You have to serve up what they want to buy or eat or watch or listen to. So sometimes you're going to meet people that have something absolutely off the wall crazy that there's no way it's going to work. But I've seen those things work tremendously. Like you do a Magic Mike, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the white Magic Mike worked. Shouldn't we do an African-American black Magic Mike and call it Chocolate City? Well, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Well, I like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I said, well, let's try it.
Mm-hmm. Starring the chocolate stones.
And that ended up being sold to BET and Paramount.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See? And so you have to be open to learning. And that's number 3 is, are you learning something? Are you experiencing something that you didn't experience before, which is also counting as part of your learning? And then you have to say to yourself, if I'm not learning, well, the worst thing that you could be is bored.
Yep. Nick, I've been saying that for years.
So the fourth thing is, please don't be boring is the first thing.
Saying that for years.
And the fifth thing I'll say is, again, as much as we try to duplicate success, we don't want, I used to it's in the 90s, they used to send me actors and say, this is the next Tom Cruise. I'm sorry, but there's only one Tom Cruise. And he and I are born on exactly the same day.
Really? Same month, same day, same year?
Please don't tell me it. Same everything.
Wow.
So, Billy, please don't tell me you're not willing to try something new. And sometimes you have to have trust. But trust, this is the last point I'll make, and you have to trust and you have to verify. So trust is, well, what will the buyers say about this? And verify is, well, the BBC bought it for $800,000. Canal Plus in France bought it for $400,000, and Japan bought it for $350,000. That's the verify. So you can add those numbers up, and you know now how to manage the risk, which is number 1.
I love it. I love it. That's a lot for us. That's a lot for the audience, right? Because there's a lot of points to managing risk, and I know that you said you seek to minimize. And as a company, as a bank, as a financier, the goal is to mitigate risk as much as possible. And one of the things that I think about with that, and it kind of leads me to my next question, is about the producer-financier relationship. And my question is, what does a healthy relationship between a producer and financier look like from your perspective? And where do those partnerships commonly break down? Because the producer is often the one that's assigned to acquiring that financing, working with financiers from the beginning to the end of the project. So what is that relationship? What should that relationship look like? And how does it break down?
Let's break it into the left side and right side. Some producers are creative, right? So, if I say to you, there's a car chase. Well, if you take Frankenheimer's car chase with De Niro from Ronin, that's one of the most incredible car chases I've ever seen. But that word car chase could be 15 or 20 minutes. And how many cars get destroyed? And how many buildings do you run into, and trash trucks, and all the things that go into a James Bond movie? I love that scene in one of those James Bond movies where they attack him in a square in Italy from every side, and he just puts the brake on and spins his Gatling guns around to shoot. That's an incredibly orchestrated scene. Incredible. You're like, I haven't seen that in a while. That's cool. So, but that scene is expensive. So that goes to the financial producer, who has to maybe write that scene in a way that it fits into the amount of money that you have.
Yep.
Because what you can't do is spend the money and only come out with half a movie. Because that's not going to allow you to work again with responsible people.
Yep. We face
you
that.
have
Nick.
to balance being responsible. Yeah. But like on Reservoir Dogs, to give you an example, the company that wanted to make it was going bust. It was called Live Entertainment. And so they showed me 7 projects, and I picked 2. I picked Reservoir Dogs and a movie called Light Sleeper with Paul Schrader, with Willem Dafoe and Susan Sarandon. And
Paul Schrader's great.
But anyway, they made that movie. The first budget was 1.4. And so Quentin came back and he says, I think I've got something here, but to make it work, I need another 100,000 in music. Because Quentin loves his music.
Yep.
And so I said, well, let's look at it. You look at it and then you say, well, guys, what do you think? And then you give them the extra 100,000 for the music. Is he right? I hope so. But
how do you get that trust, though? How do you say?
You have to have some trust, and you have to verify it and say, well, with that music, can I get a record deal or a music deal for 100,000 or 50,000 and cut my risk? So that's the trust, and that's the verifying. So yes, it's a good idea, but we only have this amount of money. And art is made with constraints. I've seen brilliant movies made with budgets that a Marvel movie, you could make 10 Marvel movies for what they make a Marvel movie for. But they're not making those anymore, you'll notice. They're just making those franchise movies. And then they leave the rest of the independent world to struggle on its own. And 1 out of 400 breaks through. We're working with this director, Max, who directed Palm Springs.
Great movie.
He's teamed up with one of Bill Murray's great writer collaborators, Mitch. And so, but this guy made Palm Springs $5 million. And they had a bidding war that sold for $30 million. But, he was talented. He got it. He just hit it right.
Yeah.
Which some of us buy lotto tickets. So you have an instinct, right? You guys have an instinct.
Mm-hmm.
You have an instinct of what people want, right? Because you talk to them all the time.
Yep.
So what do the people want? And what will they want in 2 years? If you were in the Biden era and you green light a movie and it's, quote, standard woke or whatever you want to call that, whatever the Biden liberal side was, and then you make the movie and you end up in the, quote, conservative right audience who's now in charge, was your movie anticipating that you might have a change of season?
Yep.
Or does that audience still love it no matter what happens? Because we're divided 50-50 in the country.
Yep.
So I think that, power to the people and the ability to speak to them is one of your talents. You literally speak to them.
That's right.
And so you develop in that process an instinct, which is what you trust. You trust your instinct. We just have to verify it with sales and numbers.
Yeah, and you could
that
replace
allows us
instinct
to
with
finance
taste. Do you agree with that, Michael? That you could replace instinct with taste, or are those two separate things for
I
you?
do think some people have taste. Yeah. And we try to hire people, not from necessarily LA. We hire them from all over the world. I got a girl that works with us from Ocala, Florida. You know why?
Why?
Because Ocala, Florida is middle America. But she has style and she has taste. Just like the girls we hired from Boston or Santa Clarita, Natalie. So these people, sometimes I say, well, what do you guys think? So they'll tell me I'm crazy, or they'll tell me it's genius, or they'll tell me I don't like how they're referring to women, or they'll tell me it's too violent, or they'll tell me all kinds of things. And talking to the people is what you do, and talking to other people doesn't mean they have to make the decision for you. But intelligent people listen and then make their own decision.
Yeah, and Michael, I have to throw one thing out at
I
you real
don't lose-
quick because you got me thinking about something, man. And what you got me thinking about is that taste, and you've got me thinking about what the people want, because that's part of what we do here, and it makes me think about the balance that I feel like does not exist anymore, and that's the balance between taste and value, and this desire for everything to be free. So that's the challenge, is that I feel like there is a growing desire or expectation that everything be delivered for
Yes,
free. That's the
expectation.
Netflixification to me of film, is that it's virtually free. I pay my pittance of a subscription to Netflix and I get everything for free. And that supersedes my desire for quality. That supersedes my desire for the expression of my own taste. So I'm willing to take what I can get for free as opposed to paying for the things that actually fit my taste. Like, that's the part that kills me. There's so much independent quality content that's out there, but you need to pay for it because that actually helps the independent filmmaker make their next film.
Right.
All the stuff that you get through the studios and those franchises comes to you for free. They give you that. They give it away. They give the factory stuff away, but the auteur stuff you have to pay for. And my challenge is that people seem to be less willing to pay for the quality. What are your thoughts on that?
I think you pay for it also at $17 a month times 12. Somebody do the math. It's not nothing, right? But relative, you're saying, is $204.
Yes.
Yeah. But relatively, what you're talking about also is niche films. What the studio calls niche films, or Netflix calls niche films. And so let's talk about how that comes about. I'm the head of Netflix or of Paramount or Disney, and I make a movie for $7 million and it makes 14. 7 million profit, right?
Maybe.
Does the CEO get a bonus for that? Does the CEO of that company get a bonus for that? Or he makes a Star Wars for 100 million and it makes $1 billion.
Yeah.
He gets a bonus for that.
Yeah.
So what starts happening is you're running your show at Disney and you're saying, well, how do I increase shareholder value? Because that's what his job is. His job is not making good movies, right? His job is, how do I increase shareholder value? So the decisions are different. You know, I made a documentary in 2022, it's just finished, about, it's about 14 shipwrecks in the Baltic Sea. And we had to get 20 divers to go 82 meters, which is it's 250 feet below the surface, which very few people can go. And we lit it with 3 cameras, 16 lights, and we got footage there that has never been seen before. And it was incredibly difficult to do. But who's going to pay money to see an underwater documentary? Maybe someone will.
Yeah, I might.
So
The only one.
what might interest you could be made, but maybe outside the system of quarterly results and stock price going up or down. You saw Elon Musk, as rich as he is, when the stock started going down and the shareholders said, hey, what's going on here? All of a sudden he got quiet, because what is his job? He views it as increasing shareholder value. And I, financing movies, have to also consider my partner, who I love dearly. His name's Mark Rowan. He is co-founder, CEO of Apollo Capital. Has a lot of money under management. And he has instinct and experience, both sides of that brain. And as much as I think I know better, he's right most of the time. He's right most of the time. And I have to be open to always learning. It has to be interesting, and we have to trust the creatives, but verify by sales and distribution minimum guarantees or contracts, right? Mm-hmm. So if you can get somebody to buy enough territories on your quality dream that you have, then you should go for it. Might not be in the system, but if it's enough to make the movie, and you'll have to sacrifice, right, and struggle. No wisdom comes without struggle.
Yep.
So, but I think you can do it, you guys. You're charming. You know the people. How many push-ups can you do?
On my birthday, I did the number of push-ups that was equal to my age, and my kids were flabbergasted. They were like, "There's no way. I thought you were going to tap out at like 18." I'm like, "No, dude, you guys don't know me that well.
No,
I'm a competitor now. I'll keep going."
Never that. Yeah. Never that. Never that. You got to keep it. Got to keep it going. You got to keep it fresh. Right. Yeah. All right. So I've got one last one, and we're going to close out our filmmaker Q&A. Michael, this has been awesome. Yes. You're just knocking it out. The wisdom is definitely there, because we also feel the struggle. But the last one is this: looking ahead, what kind of films does Patriot Pictures aim to champion in the coming years, and what legacy do you hope to leave as a financier in the independent film landscape?
That's two questions.
Yeah. Left brain, right brain.
Left brain, right brain. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's break it up.
That's right.
The first question is, what movies are we making in the future?
That's right. Okay. You got it.
Well, we created a horror department.
Okay.
And so we've been fortunate to get a talented director and cast to do kind of a mystical Exorcist Omen type of movie that deals with priests that are sent by the Vatican with a psychiatrist to determine if the person is possessed or just crazy mental illness.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you learn about mental illness, you learn about possessed, and what happens if the devil possesses one of them.
Ooh.
Okay. There's your plot twist right there. That's what happens right there.
So we like those movies.
Okay.
And then we've got what you call your AI special effects movie, which is called Wild Pitch, which is a story about a kid who can't get on a baseball team. And every kid has experienced one kid that just can't get on the team. So he goes to see his grandfather. And his grandfather feels bad, so he calls all his buddies that are 75 to 85 years old, and they walk through this river behind the old age home and come out 12 and 13-year-old kids with the same personality as the old guy, but they're kids.
My kind of movie.
And of course, they get to the World Series with the bad kids, and then it starts wearing off. The fountain of youth starts wearing off.
Superpowers start to go away.
4 quadrant, you can talk about whatever marketing terms you want, but it's a very touching story.
Okay.
And so we've got that. We've got a mermaid project like Twilight with mermaids at Malibu High.
Hey, Michael, I know you're probably like done filming that movie, but next time you do a movie with mermaids, you gotta cast me because of my affinity for Zoolander. I have to be a merman. A merman.
You got it. You got it. Auditions are February 14th.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, February 14th, straight up on Valentine's Day. I will definitely have to have my blue steel ready for you.
Love it. There it is.
Okay, so second half of the question,
And now
Michael,
the
right?
second
All right, so
part,
yes, and I'll restate so that everybody understands. What legacy do you hope to leave as a financier in the independent film landscape?
I think for me, it's 3 parts. 1, I want to leave a legacy of my partner that trusted me recovers the money that he invested. That's 1. 2,
Huge one.
I want to focus on new filmmakers and new ideas, or old filmmakers that are not listened to anymore that have new ideas, and get their new concepts to become profitable and not boring and interesting and something different from what you see out there. And 3, I want to see young people learning from whatever I can teach them or the business can teach them, to carry on the knowledge, to continue to find cinema worth watching.
Keyword, cinema.
Yeah. It's the one. That is the key word.
I love it. Those 3 points are amazing.
Lofty goals too.
That's the legacy. But I think you said lofty, but at the same time, he's living that legacy, which is amazing. As we mentioned already with the films that Michael, you've been in, they've left a lasting legacy already on us, right? And we've talked about this already, but also on the audience out there. But I really do want our audience to understand that all of those films that we look back on now as we think about The Matrix as a blockbuster film, right? But no, it's not that. It is unique. It is different. It isn't the normal franchise. It isn't commercial. It's challenging. It's different. It comes from a different space. It comes from an auteur mentality. And that's why I took the world by storm because of that. Yeah. Right, but the movies that people love the most, the ones that they talk about, the ones when you ask people if you were on a deserted island, which movies would you take with you? those are the movies that we should be financing. Those are the movies that you should be watching. Those are the movies that you should be taking your friends and family to the movie theater to watch, right? Those are the ones that not only should investors invest in, but as the rest of us, all of us, the audience, we all invest in movies as well. And that's the cry that I always have to the audience is invest in these films with your dollars, your cents, your attendance at, the theater, the film festivals. You can invest in the future of quality filmmaking too. So we implore you, do so. Right. Yeah. So I again, and then from the past now to the present and the future, Michael, definitely appreciate the fact that you are looking to leave that legacy, not leave it. You're looking to pass that legacy on to the new generation of filmmakers. That's amazing. And I love that for you. And I love that for the future of film.
Let me leave you with one word to live by in making movies.
Okay, I'm going to write
and
this down.
And that's collaboration.
Yep. That's
everything.
You can't make Matrix without Joel Silver producing, Keanu starring, Wachowski brothers at the time directing and writing. So nothing gets made by me.
Yep.
But then everything has a collaboration, and that collaboration allows you to accomplish things. So they say no, there's no I in the word team.
That's right.
And so if you're willing to give your ideas and collaborate with the writer and the director, and you're not worried about who gets credit, it is amazing what you can accomplish.
I agree with that completely. And Nick, this was an awesome filmmaker Q&A, and I have to agree with Michael in that last one. Like I hope that doesn't just fly over the head of the audience. Like there's a big deal about credit in this business, and people can get really funky about that really fast. As a matter of fact, like in the Producers Guild right now, like one of the big things is trying to delineate what kind of producer are you? Can you use the mark? Well, it's all credit based. There's a lot of talk about that all the time. So I hope the audience lets that sink in. With that, let's pivot to the patiently waiting, the perfectly coiffed producer Papa Bear. Exactly.
PB.
That's the one and only PB. Can you drop some things we should know on us and this audience?
Of course I can. But let's start with the things we already know.
Okay.
We know from Michael that film financing is critical to not only making a film, but finishing a film.
Yep.
Correct.
So my question is, and I know Michael's been in Hollywood for years, knows all the horror stories of this. Mm-hmm. So, Michael, Nick, Chris, what film has the longest production gap from start to finish due to financial struggles, and how long was it?
This is actually a very fun question, PB. Challenging, but fun. I'm going to guess right away Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis.
Megalopolis.
That'll be my guess.
Okay.
I felt like that was a 30-year struggle. Nicholas, you got any guesses?
It's so difficult.
There's going to be a ton of options,
because,
right? Like,
well, Chris, it's
not
funny
a short list.
No, it's not. And when you say the longest, it's kind of like there's got to be some caveats and some boundaries around the options that we're able to choose from. Because, Chris, I think it was 12 years that Black Barbie was being made.
The documentary Black Barbie
finally came out.
12 years.
So and they too had financial struggles and financial challenges, and so it's difficult to say which one was the longest. It's like, well, is it an Oscar winner? Is it a BAFTA winner? Is it something that is one of the best films ever known? It's like, what are the caveats here?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. It's hard for me to say. So, if we were to throw out one of these, and I don't know how long any of Michael, specifically his films, took to make, right? Because again, there's a bent, right, Chris, to our guest. So there's something
there's a
there.
bent to, that's right. It's going to be, could be a Michael movie or someone Michael's worked with. Yes,
exactly. That's one of those films. And
I may have answered too quickly.
From a timing perspective. Well, that's what I mean. From a timing perspective, I don't know. So here's the thing. I don't know the answer to this one. There's so many films that it could be, but I would love to hear what Michael thinks this film is.
Well, I mean, there's an old film I know that took 48 years.
Oh, okay.
That's a little longer than 12.
That might be the one. Which movie is that, Michael?
I don't remember the name of it. But I think it was an Orson Welles movie.
I'm going to write that down. Orson Welles.
But I mean, I thought Apocalypse Now took a long time. Out of Africa took 10 years. Platoon took 10 years. I mean, Lord of War took good 7 years. Air Force One took almost 10 years.
Air Force One took almost 10 years. That to me, it's crazy because it seems like it would have been a slam dunk, especially with the cast. But again, 10 years, that could have shifted from a cast perspective. They could have thought that someone else should have been the lead in the beginning, and then that shifted later on. So, but anyway, PB, come on, man. No, you just have to give us the answer because there's so many movies. Yeah,
and
it's
The Fugitive took a long time, and I was going to say one else. I didn't want to interrupt you, Papa Bear.
Was that to finish it, Michael? The Fugitive?
Oh.
Was it the financing to finish it for Fugitive?
Yeah, and bring it to life, because I think it was a TV show before, and you get like
that's
Hawaii
right. That's what I forgot about that.
Hawaii Five-0, or you get these kind of shows, right? But I financed a movie called Robin Hood Men in Tights with Mel Brooks,
Love it.
which I think also took maybe 12 or 15 years to bring to the screen.
It's like Dave Chappelle's coming out party in movies,
continue.
by the way.
Yeah, PB, come on, man. What you got?
I'm going to have to give the winning score to Michael. He didn't come up with the name of the film, but he knows which film it is. With filming having begun in 1970 as his American directorial comeback, the Orson Welles film The Other Side of the Wind.
Other Side of the Wind
had been mired in significant financial issues, later compounded by Welles' own death in 1985. It was finally completed by producer Frank Marshall, who orchestrated the final edit in 2018 and was released in that same year by Netflix, resulting in a 48-year-long production gap.
Oh man, that is definitely a thing we should know.
I haven't seen it. Have you seen it? I
haven't seen it either.
It's on Netflix.
Nick, have you seen it?
It's on Netflix.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen it. And right now I'm mad.
He's gonna wait till he's 48.
I'm mad.
Nick's gonna wait till he's 48.
I'm mad. Yeah, you go. Michael said 48 years. How do you know that? How do you even know that? He said, I'm not sure of the movie, but there's this movie I know about. It took 48. He didn't say 47. He didn't say 46. He didn't say 49. My man said 48 years. So yes, Michael wins the prize.
The reason I can do that let me be honest. The reason I can do that is because I have collaborators.
Ooh,
I
look at that.
think we know
Okay.
what that means.
Exactly. I know exactly what it means, and that's why I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? No man over here is sitting here like he's all innocent.
Don't be
You know,
mad.
he's got.
Don't hate the game, not the player.
Not the player.
Hate the game, not the player.
See, Chris, we didn't give him the
we didn't give
caveat.
him
You
the
can't have people over here. We can't have people over here Googling and schmoogling. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
and-
just get.
Well,
Or actually,
Michael has acted
using
in
Claude.
4
Shout out to
films.
Claude AI, our sponsor.
That's
of this
right.
program.
Wait, PB, tell it like it is. Tell it like it is.
Michael's acted in 4 films himself as part of his credits,
Yes.
and this might have been the 5th one.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Fifth credit
Collaboration.
because he fooled us. That was well done.
Hey, wait, Chris, I gotta,
Player,
I
hate
gotta-
the game, not the
hate
player.
the game. Hey, wait, Michael, I gotta
That's right.
I gotta piggyback on this and then throw something out. I say collaboration rules the nation.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta throw something in there. Yeah, I got you.
And I would like to
All
say
right.
congratulations.
He's got a good voice. I think he should write the rest of the lyrics.
There you go. We'll make it happen. It will happen.
Finish the lyrics.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
See, we're going. See, this is how Chris tries to get me too. He's like, Nick, you gotta sing. Now Michael's over here trying to get me to rap. Man, come on now. I'm just on my Jesse Jackson
Yep.
real
Yeah,
quick.
Rainbow Coalition.
Collaboration. wait. The lack of collaboration across the nation will lead to stagnation. You know what I'm saying?
That's very well done. So give your donation
Keep going.
to the Rainbow Coalition.
Wait.
Coalition.
No. You got to give your donation. You hear me, congregation?
Boom. Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good job. I'm proud of you, man. I know what I'm going to be saying the next time I'm at Soho House. I'm going to be having a cocktail. I'll be having a Negroni. And I'm going to say, did you know that there was one Orson Welles film he couldn't get financed right away, even though he's Orson Welles, 48 years, and it's called This Other Side of the Wind. And you can watch it on Netflix now. Thank you, Papa Bear. That is definitely a thing we should know. Guys, let's take
and Chris, hey, wait, real quick before we
pay
go to
some
that,
bills?
I have to say, before we pay some bills, I have to also say to you, congratulations for having a Negro.
Negro.
When you go,
Puts hair on your chest. This Negro drinks
But not on your
Negronis
head.
at the nightclub.
All
Let's
right,
pay some
man.
bills.
Let's pay some
Let's
bills.
pay some bills. We'll be back.
As filmmakers, we chase stories across borders, researching locations, analyzing global cinema, collaborating with teams worldwide. But every click, every file transfer, and late night download needs protection. That's where Surfshark VPN comes in. Surfshark keeps your project secure with encrypted connections, protects your team when working on public Wi-Fi, and opens access to region-locked reference films from anywhere. Faster, safer, more open internet, wherever production takes you. Now, when I was in Italy, I tried to stream the Chelsea game, but I got hit with that dreaded not available in your region screen. And everybody knows who travels how that feels. But there's a workaround. Of course, Surfshark VPN.
And for those who don't know what a VPN is, a VPN, Nick, is a virtual private network, which allows, for example, me to mask my real IP address and then even replace it with another IP address anywhere else in the world. I love the options Surfshark gives you with this. Using a VPN is like wearing pants. All the important stuff stays private and secure when you step your foot outside. A VPN covers your whole online activity. Once your device connects to the internet, all the information is encrypted just the way you want it. That way, your online activity is hidden from all the snoopers and trackers out there. Ever wonder, by the way, how much of your personal information is floating around online? Every click, every swipe, every doom scroll into whatever you just happen to be into at the moment. All of it can be logged, tracked, and worse, sold. With Surfshark, all that data stays in your hands. Like when I'm connected to Surfshark, it encrypts everything I do online. It's like finally being able to shut the blinds on my digital life. I get total privacy, I get total control. And honestly, it's a relief knowing I can browse freely without constantly worrying who's watching.
I love that metaphor. Hiding your tasty bits with the pants. I love it. Mm-hmm. Well, Surfshark has servers in over 100 countries, meaning that I can now access content from almost any country in the world. This is so useful when I'm traveling because I don't have to miss any of my Chelsea games. Now, I just open the app, switch my location to the US, and it's like I've teleported home. No more missing out on the content I love just because of where I happen to be. So with that in mind, we also recommend Surfshark Antivirus. We tend to think of viruses as a laptop problem, but they can hit our phones and our tablets too. And that's why Surfshark Antivirus is such a smart add-on. It's built right into the app and runs quietly in the background, protecting against malware.
So go to surfshark.com/makeit or use code MAKEIT at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. There's a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee, so no worries, my friends. Again, that's surfshark.com/makeit or use the code MAKEIT at checkout, all one word, to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. Be sure to check out the show notes for details. And now, back to the show. And we're back. Guys, this has been an absolute blast. And you know what that means? Man. It means it's time to clear the set. Michael, are you ready?
Go for it.
What are your top 3 films of all time?
So hard. What are you doing to this man?
I know.
Number 1, Godfather.
Writing that down.
Number 2, The Matrix, the first one.
Yep.
And number 3,
The Little Mermaid,
is a movie made at the French movie by Luc Besson.
Yes.
Called Nikita.
Oh, Nikita. Yes.
Nikita.
Because, Chris, one of my favorite movies of all time is The Professional, otherwise known as Léon, and also Luc Besson.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah. Great, great film. Another French.
That's the 4th. And the 5th is Red Sparrow. Have you seen Red Sparrow?
I haven't seen Red Sparrow.
No, I haven't.
I'm going to write it down so I can watch it.
On that. Yep.
That's why I write this stuff down, guys. I write it down so I can remember to do it.
Yep.
Red Sparrow. There's a French film that came out a few years ago called A Taste of Things.
Yeah, of course.
That I think everybody should watch.
Yeah, Lord of War.
Yes.
Yeah, but Lord of War.
Lord of War. Sure. Yeah. All-time great movie. And I think that movie opened people's eyes to what is happening in the arms trade.
That was it. That was the movie for that. There was no movie like that before then. They didn't talk about that. Right. That was a feature of a larger movie.
Yes.
They all these action movies have arms dealers in them. Yeah. The arms dealer was never the center of the movie until, in my opinion, Lord of War
made us understand how the atrocities can happen because the person dealing the arms is completely disconnected from the person using them.
It's
completely transactional.
Profit. Transactional. I'm here to sell stuff.
Exactly. And what you do with it is your business. Yeah, very, very interesting.
And the next one, When Harry Met Sally.
I have that in my Blu-ray player right now.
There you go.
A true fact.
When Harry Met Sally. Go ahead, Papa Bear. Tell us how it was for you.
Yeah, a film for my generation.
That's right. Billy Crystal, awesome in that.
Yeah,
it was great. Yeah, it was fantastic.
It was great.
Michael, name the film you're embarrassed to admit that you haven't seen.
Battlefield Earth.
Really? That is fascinating to me. I'm going to write that down as well.
We've never gotten that answer before.
Never. No, we got that answer. Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth with a dear friend of mine, John Travolta, who we had to come in the last minute to save that movie. But I'm really into aliens. And so John had to put on 6 hours it took him to get the makeup on and 4 hours to take the makeup off every day.
See, I get claustrophobic, Nick.
Wow.
I can't do that. Hey, man, you got
Now that is commitment. That's commitment.
It is.
So shout out to the man that did Grease, Saturday Night Fever,
Pulp Fiction.
Battlefield Earth, Pulp Fiction. He's got 9 lives, John Travolta, and I tip my hat to him.
As we do. Shout out to John Travolta. Hope you're watching this, bud, and come on the show.
Yes. Let's make that
Michael,
happen. Let's make it
exactly.
happen.
Name the film everyone loves that you hate.
Tenant.
Oh, wow. Okay. Chris Nolan taking a shot on the Make It podcast.
Yeah.
It's all good. I know a lot of people who...
Well,
so
listen,
I'm a Tenet apologist, but I'm okay with people not liking it. Yes.
Well, I mean, you are a higher form of human being. 'Cause I watched it. I tried to watch it 3 times. I just couldn't figure it out.
I have a confession to make. I am not a higher form of human being. Here's what happened. I watched the Blu-ray DVD extras on the film to see what all the stuff was about, and then it made perfect sense. So I watched it. I watched it 4 times. I had to watch it 4 times to get it, and then I watched the DVD extras.
Collaboration.
And Chris Nolan explains everything in the damn Blu-ray extras, and I'm like, oh, now the movie makes so much sense.
No, Chris, you don't understand what Michael's doing right now. I don't think you get it. He's dropping the real knowledge on us, brother. Like listen to the definition of collaboration he's dropping on you. You don't get it. That's what I'm telling you, man. I just said you cheated on a test. He said no.
We collaborated.
Collaboration, because the director's he knew what he was doing. He said, look, if you watch this little thing, you're going to love what I just made because I'm going to give you the keys to the insight. Yeah. And once you have the insight, you're all in. You're on the inside. Man, I think I just created something new. If you have the insight, you're on the inside.
It's not as powerful as
collaboration,
you think, but I do like the alliteration.
Which brings that. In the finale, I'm going to give you my all-time favorite movie.
Okay, I thought we had that already with Godfather. Let's go again. Here we go, Michael.
No, he's playing with you.
We're going to collaborate some more.
I know. But this goes back. You guys weren't born yet.
I'm ready.
The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah. One that started.
I love The Wizard of Oz. I can watch it 100 times.
Michael, let me ask you this.
It's great.
Okay, if you truly love The Wizard of Oz, have you ever watched The Wizard of Oz on mute with Pink Floyd The Wall playing as the score? Starting the album on the lion's third roar.
I think we just gave him a new task. Make
the
sure
lion
the
being
mushrooms
the
are handy,
MGM
by
lion?
the way.
Yes, the MGM lion. You must start the Pink Floyd The Wall album
as the lion roars.
On the lion's third roar.
Okay.
Do that, and it will change. It is the only way. Once you've done it, you will tell everybody else about it. It is a guarantee. Trust, bro. It is amazing. It doesn't make sense as to why that album is so in tune with that movie.
That's crazy.
It doesn't make sense.
I've never heard of this before. I'm going to do it as soon as I can.
Yes.
Incredible.
So watch the movie. Yeah.
I never
the Lion's
heard
third
that.
roar. Oh,
you heard that?
It'll change.
Yeah.
It'll change your life.
We're going to have to do it.
Wow.
Please.
See, it's already worth your time here, Michael. You come to the Make a Podcast.
That's right.
You leave with a new thing to do.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
What's your favorite cheat day meal?
I knew I was going to learn something from you guys.
Of course. Success.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And again, make sure you have your THC and mushrooms ready when you do that. Michael, what's your favorite cheat day meal?
Cheat day?
Yeah.
I would say there's a place in LA in Culver City called the Honey Pot. And they have the best fried chicken in LA.
I'm going to visit there next time I go to LA. I always stay in Culver City.
If you like fried chicken, is it called the Honey Pot?
It is.
Yeah?
Honey Pot.
Best fried chicken in LA.
Damn.
Yeah, that's it.
I like that. Well, okay. We know what to do.
I might go there right now for dinner. I'm going there right now.
That you mentioned it.
We've whet his appetite. We've done that a few times on this show now, Nick, where somebody starts talking about a certain pizza they love or a certain thing they love, and they're like, I think I need to go do this now. Honey's Kettle. Honey's Kettle.
Okay,
I'm going to mark out. All right, Honey's Kettle in Culver City. I like the alliteration.
Showing me pictures.
Yeah, wipe your mouth right there. We're
going to end on a toughie, Michael. We'll clear the set with a toughie. Pick one for the rest of your life. Alfred Hitchcock or Miles Davis?
Miles Davis.
Oof.
What you didn't know is I played tenor sax.
And what you didn't know is I played alto sax.
Yes.
So...
And what you didn't know is I play piano.
Right.
Not the same as a saxophone. What you didn't know is now this is a true story.
We got ourselves a band.
We already have a band.
That's right.
Yeah. I played trumpet, Nick, in 5th or 6th grade. And there was a kid in my class that said, you should stop playing trumpet. And I said, why is that? He said, your lips are too big. They can't get inside the mouthpiece. And I was in 5th grade, low self-esteem, self-conscious. I was like, I think he's right. I think this is why I'm so bad at trumpet. This is not working. I wish I'd have stuck with it. Maybe I'll go back and learn trumpet today.
Yeah. The saxophone is a beautiful instrument. I miss it.
There you go.
You can sign up. Sign up for lessons. You can do it. But I started with the viola.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. That's a transition. I started with the clarinet.
You can't get a date with a viola.
You can't get a date with the clarinet.
I always tell people the reason the guitar was invented because you couldn't carry the harpsichord around. He's like, just too big. Let me take this to my date and then woo them.
And go woo them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody wants to play guitar. It's cooler. You can take it with you. You can take the romance with you. Same with piano. I can't take it with me.
Chris, and that's why we played the saxophone.
The ladies into my den.
Hey, no, that's why we played the saxophone. You know what I'm saying? Because every time you got to lick your lips a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let them know what's up.
Little Cool J,
Exactly, got that Cool J.
Then you wet the reed. Is that what you do? You wet it. You wet that reed and you start blowing.
Hey, I tell you, man. It's a beautiful thing.
We have cleared the set, gentlemen. I appreciate that.
We appreciate that.
We will end this podcast the way we end every podcast, Michael, with the question, what does it mean to make it?
I think the greatest blessing of the definition to make it is to enjoy what you do. The fact that I can wake up and do my first job and then my second job and then my third job and enjoy every single one of them, that's a blessing.
Couldn't agree more. Papa Bear, we were just talking about this, I think, yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. Michael, this has been an incredible journey. We have learned so much. I hope the audience loves it as much as we do. I think they will. Can you tell that very audience where they can find you on social media, on the internet, where they can see your work, follow your companies? Give us all the details. See California Scheming when it comes out. Give us everything you want to give us.
Well, I think there's a patriotpictures.com and a Patriot Pictures on Instagram. For business people, there's unionpatriotcapital.com. And then each movie by its name has its own marketing and social media site.
That's perfect.
But I would also like to thank you guys for taking the time and spending some time with me. It's super encouraging for me to see two fine young men and one older gentleman that care about something and are passionate about something. So I think that you all and this show are a blessing to the audience, to cinema, and to me for being such good hosts. Thank you.
That means the world to us, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're definitely welcome. And do what he says, folks. Go check out patriotpictures.com. Go find his films on that site and follow them on social media. They're guaranteed to be an entertaining ride and a good time. And if you want to learn more, you can find Michael Mendelsohn on the internet and on social media and Instagram and all those places. And we'll have all those different links in our show notes. Speaking of places to find people, you can find us, the Make It Podcast, on Instagram, on TikTok, on X at _Make It Podcast. If you want to reach out to us there, you can DM us or message us or leave comments. We respond to 100% of those. Very proud of that fact. We're also on Facebook. You can just search for the Make It Podcast on Facebook and we will show right up. And with that, Nick, can you please leave us with the credo?
Of course. And just have to thank Michael. You thanked us. And as Chris said, we appreciate that. It definitely reminds us that we're doing the right thing at the right time with the right people. But I also have to extend those thank yous back to you for taking the time to share your thoughts and your experience, your insights, and your perspectives with us. Because like Chris said at the beginning of this, it's like we do this because we love it. We do this because we know every conversation creates a new friend, and every new friendship creates opportunities for collaboration. Yep. And I love it. We appreciate you so much. So with that, I have to say to our filmmaking friends, family, fans, and followers out there, be better, be creative, be engaged.
And thank you for listening. Nick, Papa Bear, Michael, talk to you soon.
Sure.
Yeah, man. Got to do this again.
Right. Peace.